She came to a tree. "Oh tree, God's creature, have you seen my son?" The tree answered her, "I have enough problems of my own, put here to be chopped up and burnt as firewood. I don't have time to worry about your son." Still she walked, searching. There was nothing. She came to a small road. "Oh, small road, God's creature, have you seen my son?" The road answered her, "I have enough problems of my own, put here to be trampled on by feet, to be stamped on by horses, to be pissed on by dogs. I don't have time to worry about your son." Still she searched. She came to the moon. "Oh moon, God's creature, have you seen my son?" The moon answered, "I have enough problems of my own, put here to shine alone in the dark, to disappear in the summer. I don't have time to worry about your son." She walked until she came to the sun himself, the great light. "Oh sun, God's creature, have you seen my son?" The sun knew something. "Luckless woman, your son is dead, sucked down in the river of Poutanen." When she heard that, she threw back her head and she screamed, and the sound pierced the sky. It rolled out over the sea. It echoed over the cliffs. But she could not let that be. She could not accept that. She flew straight to the workshop of Inen the smith, and she said, "Make me a rake. Make me a rake like no rake that has ever been made before. Make it with a handle 50 fathoms long. Make it with prongs 500 fathoms long." And Ilmarinen, he fired up his forge, and from the fire he pulled a rake, a bright copper rake. Such a rake, so huge, it has never been seen before or since. And Lemminka and his mother, she took this rake and she flew to the river of Poutanen, the river that divides this land from that, the living from the dead. She stepped up to the shore. She plunged the rake into the water, pulled it towards her, and lifted it out. Water fell from the prongs. Nothing. She stepped into the water. She waded in until it came up to her thighs. And then she plunged the rake again into the river and dragged it across the stones towards her, lifted it out. Nothing. So she climbed out the other side, onto the far riverbank, into the land of the dead. She turned back to face that river and reached down towards the sea. She plunged the rake again, pulled it towards herself and lifted it out. And there on the end this time, she saw Lemminka's shirt. She took the shirt and she put it on the ground. And then she took the rake and she plunged it again and pulled it towards herself. And this time, there on the end of the rake, there was her son's hat. She took the hat. And this time she reached further than she had done before, as far as she could reach down towards the sea. She dragged the rake across the bottom of the river, lifted it out, and then a gleaming mass of bloody entrails. That was Lemminka, caught on the prongs of the rake by his finger, by his toe. She teased the entrails off the rake, and then she started to weep. Can my boy come back from this? A raven landed in the tree behind her, and it answered. It said, no. No man can recover from this. Fish have already eaten his eyes. A pike has already split his shoulder. Perhaps he has become a cod, swimming in the sea. Perhaps he is a perch. Perhaps a whale. Let him go. No! She screamed! She took the rake, she plunged the rake again, dragged it another time, and she got some of those bits that were missing from her son. She got some more of his head, some of his hand, a bit of leg, and she started to piece the parts together. She took the rake and she plunged it again, and she wouldn't stop. She kept going until she had taken all of the pieces and fashioned them into the shape of her son, fashioned them with such care and tenderness. And when she had done that, she started to sing a spell. Sweet woman of the sinews, come with your copper spindle. Come with your silver distaff, with the iron wheel. Answer me when I call you. Come with a bundle of membranes under your arms. Come to sew up the muscles. Come to sew up the bones, flesh to flesh, bone to bone. Should not enough come of that?
Kun ei tuosta kyllin vielä.
There is a daughter of the air.
On impi ilman päällä.
In her red copper boat, set the oars into the traces, row the boat down through the cracks in the bone, through the gaps in the muscle, set the muscles end to end, set the bones end to end, the membranes, everything in its place, set the blood to roll, set everywhere. Should not enough come of that?
Kun ei tuosta kyllin.
I call on you, God of the sky. Ready your horses, set me the traces, set the breastplate, ride it down through the cracks in the bone, the nuts in the muscle, where blood has set it to roll on down through the arteries, set the veins mouth the eyes, the veins eye to eye, the bones end to end, silver over the cracks, gild over the gaps, everything in its place, set everything in its place, everything in its place. When she had finished, Lemminka looked as good as he had ever looked when he was alive. But there was one thing missing, the breath. So she called the humble bumblebee. And the bee buzzed, came to her, and she said, "Oh bee, there is medicine in heaven, in the cellar of our Lord, to help my son. Go there for me and fetch it." The bee said, "I am so small. How can I get up to the cellar of God in heaven?" She said, "You fly over the moon, under the sun, through the shoulders of the great bear, past the 7 stars, and then you'll find yourself in the cellar of our Lord God." So the bee did that. He flew up over the moon, under the sun, through the shoulders of the great bear, past the 7 stars, and into the cellar of our Lord God. And there were pots and pans bubbling, liquids of gold spitting and hissing. There was mead, there was honey, there was all kinds of healing lotions and potions. The bee went to all of them and tasted them to find the best. And the ones that were best, the bee collected. He dipped his feathers in the honey. He took 6 tiny pails and dipped them in those liquids, in those golden nectars. And then he began to fly back, carrying these tiny buckets, past the 7 stars, through the shoulders of the great bear, under the sun, over the moon, and back down to earth, back to the shores of that river in the land of the dead. The bee brought the medicine to Lemminkainen's mother, and she tasted it. It was good. She took 3 drops, put them onto her son's forehead. 3 drops she put onto his lips. 3 drops onto his chest. Her son. Lemminkainen coughed, spat, sat up, rubbed his eyes, and he said, "That was a long and a deep sleep that I had." She said, "It would have been longer and deeper if it wasn't for me, your poor old mother. You're lucky that I know the things that I do and that I was able to help you. Now tell me, my son, is there anything you're missing? Is there some part of you that I've forgotten, I've left out?" Lemminkainen said, "Well, actually there is something I'm missing. It's Louhi's daughter. I want to marry her and I have to get the swan of dawn alive, otherwise Louhi won't let me marry her." And Lemminkainen's mother said, "Now you just stop right there. You forget about that blasted swan and come home with me. You've caused enough trouble." And so Lemminkainen did as he was told. What happened next is another story.